What is the nature of that urgency that we like to call biological clock, which starts ticking real loud when we are in our 30s or approaching our 30s? Is it external pressure from our parents who wish to become grandparents soon? Is it external pressure from our friends that are getting married and starting their families? Or is it a real call from nature for us to reproduce? Let's dig in. Well, there are two schools of thought.
There are basically two schools of thought.
One of them maintains that the biological clock is a myth created by a misogynistic society to persuade women to have children. According to the school of thought, humans are a byproduct of society, and concepts like motherly instinct do not exist. They are, in fact, invented abstractions with the sole purpose of keeping women from occupying spaces that have been historically occupied by men. Corporations, political positions, big tech, even outer space. Women are always outnumbered in these places. And this is a symptom of a misogynistic society. Power plays an extremely influential role in how society is shaped, and women are in permanent disadvantage in relation to men. It is sexist to ask a woman when will she start her family. It's an actual attack to point out to women that their fertility declines with age, simply suggesting that motherhood may be their most important and cherished accomplishment is offensive as hell. The other school of thought does not care about everything I just said. It's biology.
Yes, science!
We are Homo sapiens sapiens, and as such, much like every other creature on Earth, we must ensure that our species survives. And we do that through reproduction. This school of thought maintains that it might not be convenient that we are the most fertile when we are teenagers or in our early 20s because we are not mature enough or financially prepared to be parents. But that doesn't make it untrue. Fertility declines with age, and that's true even for men, although in theory they can breed until the grave. But especially for women, we know for sure that when we hit our 40s, having a baby naturally is almost considered a miracle. Therefore, as we approach that age and are still childless, we may feel some type of way. You may call it the biological clock, loneliness, etc. This school of thought maintains that it is a natural, instinctive urgency that has nothing to do with peer pressure. And then there's you, watching and thinking, wait a minute, this is not me. I never felt any urgency. I never wanted to be a mom. I don't have a maternal instinct, etc. Well, that's because we come up with theories to explain reality, but they cannot possibly account for every nuance. You may not be ready yet. You may not have a partner or the right partner. You may even not want this at all. You are a complex creature, and complex things are very difficult to explain. They are multifactorial. Plus, each one of us have our own idiosyncrasies, and our own personalities. And sometimes being a parent is not the right thing for us. The point is, nobody but you can decide what is the best choice for your life. However, the only way to truly find out what that choice is to wholeheartedly assess what is it that you want in life. And you only do that by being offensive. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. Thomas Paine. What do I mean by being quote unquote offensive? I bet you wouldn't approach a stranger on the street and say, "Hey, you're getting old. Don't you think it's time to start a family?" Of course not. That would be so inappropriate and invasive. And that's exactly what you need to be, but to yourself. The only way to truly know how you feel is by asking yourself uncomfortable questions. Like, if time and money were not an issue, what would you want to do in life? How do you feel about death? Do you feel lonely? How would you feel about being the last one in your lineage, if that's the case? Are you prepared not to leave an offspring in this world when you're gone? How will you feel when your parents die? My husband and I, like many couples, waited for years for the perfect time, which of course never showed up. There's no such thing, right? Until one winter night, we got a little high and introspective. Ben turned off the TV, and the silence that followed felt horrible to me. It was like I was finally faced with the loneliness I always try to avoid by watching TV and doing a bunch of pointless things. Then, and only then, with my guard down, it suddenly struck me. I was 32 and I wanted the TV to be just one more sound in a house filled with other noises, children's voices, a golden retriever barking. I had just started a new job at the time and timing wasn't great. But in that moment, I knew this was a mere inconvenience that I was prepared to deal with. What I couldn't deal with was delaying the start of my family any longer. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask yourself uncomfortable questions. You can even journal if you want. Writing things down is an excellent way to find out your true feelings. Thanks for watching. I hope you can be at peace with whatever you choose. Comment below if you're a mom or a dad or child-free. How did you decide on your path? And hit like and please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Bye!